Okay, so now I'm going to start talking about 11.4. A system in statistical mechanics. So, where do you see the system in this picture? The very top. So it is the most important thing. So I'm going to try to show you the rib cage today. Do you see some words that are familiar now? Say this one. Good. Or, and this one that we've already talked about. And now we have to figure out what the other words mean. Are we ready for it? Okay, we're going to do another example. And it's going to hopefully make sense. So, what is a system in statistical mechanics? And how do I describe it? Okay. In order to answer these questions, I have to go back to our discussion from the other day. We said classical mechanics calls all cows spiritual cows and all people stick figures. But on the other hand, if I look at the kinetic theory, that deals with every single particle that can exist in my system. So I have to somehow deal with both without driving myself insane. So this is where statistical mechanics comes into play. And how does statistical mechanics deal with that? Well, we know that this is too obscure, the classical mechanics side, and kinetic theory is too detailed, too obscure, and this one is too detailed. So what's the middle ground? So if I was to take my particles that I get from kinetic theory and somehow make groups out of them, that's the realm of statistical mechanics. And those groups, our fancy word for them are called ensembles and also assemblies.
How do you pronounce ensemble?
However you want to pronounce it.
Okay.
It just means a group. So what you do is, when you have a system, black again. When you have a system, you divide this system into identical particles. That may be distinguishable, or they may be indistinguishable. What does that mean? In general, particles in solids are distinguishable from one another. How can I tell the particles in a solid one from another? Because they are stuck in place. Because they are stuck to their lattices. Whereas for fluids, they are indistinguishable. Fluids include both gases and liquids, right, guys? Okay. And because these molecules keep moving, how do you tag each molecule in 1 mole of gas? You can't, right? You don't. So they are indistinguishable from each other. Well, then they can't make a system. They cannot make an identical particle system. Your system must include one kind of particle. If it is, it's a gaseous mixture. You split it into different ones. So now I'm going to go back to this picture. And I'm going to start defining this and this.